Hello everybody and welcome back. Kdocrock here, and we are back at it again. In today's video I'm bringing you a guide on the location of the 3 Aetherscope parts and how to construct the Aetherscope. Now, I haven't seen a lot of single source guides out there covering just the Aetherscope, and I know there are a lot of players out there that are new to the game, or new to zombies more specifically, and are having some trouble in locating and getting all these parts and building the Aetherscope. So this guide is specifically for you. So if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, and we can get right into this. There will be timestamps in the description that go over each of the 3 anomalies that could appear in your gameplay. And our first anomaly that could appear in your gameplay will be on top of Nacht Der Untoten at the penthouse, which you're seeing here. A second location could be at main power, right where you turn on power. And a third spawn for an anomaly location can be out at the pond just past quick revive and slightly off to the left of the ammo supply crate. But once entering the anomaly on top of Nacht Der Untoten, we are going to make our way out into the yard and grab our first part. And I'm dubbing these the 90% pathing runs because these are the most common runs and locations of how to acquire these parts. Out of all the games that I have played, these seem to be the most common ways and the most common paths to the 3 parts. So there you saw the first part in the yard, and every time you do grab a part you're going to have a plethora of plague hounds spawn in, so be aware of that, and make sure you have good weapons and filled upgrades and equipment to guide you along and help you take out those plague hounds. But here at the crash site we obtain our second part right there on top of the crashed plane, and once again more plague hounds spawning in. So like I said, make sure you're well equipped. No need to be pack-a-punch, but make sure you're running weapons and equipment and filled upgrades that you are comfortable in using. And for our third and final piece in this run, we are going to make our way to the particle accelerator room back on the back staircases that run in between the weapons lab and medical bay. Right here in the middle next to the ether fast travel tunnel, we get our third and final piece. And once obtaining that third piece, you are automatically teleported back out of the dark ether and into the real world version of Die Maschine. And here I am including a second run of the Nacht Der Untoten anomaly that appears at the penthouse. And this is the one-off exception, or the 10% run. This is where the parts do change and can change in your gameplay. So I thought it was important to show you that it can alter from time to time. And what I was saying by the 90% pathing, out of all the games I played, and I've played a lot of games, 90% of the time that is the location of each of the parts in that order. But here, starting off, once again, we get our first part back underneath that concrete staircase out in the yard. And we get our plethora of plague hounds that spawn in. And I've had as many as 8 plague hounds spawn in at any one given time per part. And you do get more plague hounds, like I mentioned, every time you pick up a new part. But automatically I assume my second piece would be out at the crash site, just like normal, and on top of the crash plane. Well, to my surprise, it was not this time, and that only leads one other possible location that it could be, since these parts only spawn in 3 locations. So by process of elimination and knowing what we know, our third part is actually going to spawn here at crash site, but our second piece now has moved to the particle accelerator room on that back staircase that runs in between the weapons lab and the medical bay, and then right at the central portion where the ether tunnel fast travel appears. That will be our second part in this particular 10% run. And there we go, grabbing our second part. More plague hounds. And however you choose to deal with the plague hounds, that is entirely up to you. There's no right way or wrong way, just whatever works best for you. I kind of like to get them stuck in these hallways and take them out. Seems to work pretty well. Wherever you can get them stuck on corners or in tiny hallways seems to work best in most instances. But here we have our third part this time, now being, but like I said, out at the crash site on top of the crash plane for that particular 10% or one-off run. But coming up, we're going to head to the anomaly that could appear in your gameplay at main power, right next to where you turn power on. We'll go ahead and enter this anomaly and I actually made a mistake here in going the wrong way and taking the long way when doing this one. I should have actually went back down into the particle accelerator room, as that is where our first part is going to be, but I end up taking the long way around and just making a great journey out of this. However, don't worry, you have a lot of time to gather these 3 parts. You can do this in one succession of the anomaly dark ether entrance. So you do have plenty of time, even if you do make mistakes. Do not worry, do not panic. And if you do run out of time and don't grab all the parts, don't worry. Just go ahead and finish and end the round, start a new round, kill a sufficient amount of zombies, and your anomaly will reappear for you. But here, grabbing that first part back in the particle accelerator room, right next to that ether tunnel fast travel, that staircase that runs in between weapons lab and medical bay. Go ahead and deal with our plague hounds. Actually get stuck on one right there. But no worries, we go ahead and handle that no problem. Still plenty of time to go get our other 2 parts at this point. So like I said, even in dealing with plague hounds and even taking a wrong turn here and there, you're going to have plenty of time to do this in one session. And then making our way back out to the crash site. On top of the crash plane, we're going to obtain our second part in this 90% run from main power. And we'll just bulldoze on by through these plague hounds and just make our way out into the yard and make it quick and grab our third and final piece and deal with the plague hounds later. And Ether Shroud is great for this if you want to bypass the plague hounds and just get out of the way. It's a great tool to use. And then finally on to our third anomaly that could occur in your gameplay out here at the pond, just past Quick Revive and slightly left of the ammo supply crate. This pathing run is the 90% run for this. And our first spawn is going to be out here at the crash site on top of the crash plane. And there we go, plague hound spawning in. And you can do this any round that you choose to. You don't have to do it as early as I'm doing it. I like to get it done early. And as you can see, I'm on round 5 still. And still trying to keep that one zombie alive from round 5 while all this happens. But our second part, back down here at the particle accelerator room at the lower portion in between in the staircases that run between weapons lab and medical bay, right next to that ether tunnel fast travel. There's our second part. And I'm going to utilize the fast travel and head back into the living room of Nacht Der Untoten, which this conveniently teleports us to. Get my bearings, take out some plague hounds, and make my way out into the yard and grab that third and final piece on that 90% run from Pond. But there you have the 3 runs. Like I said, there will be timestamps in the description for each one of these anomalies that could occur in your game. The one at Nacht, the one at main power, or the one at Pond. So I hope this guide helped you out if you were having any trouble in securing these 3 parts. But once you do have the 3 parts on any one of these runs, you're going to want to make your way back to the particle accelerator room and head to the workbench on the lowest level. And it is right behind the pack munch machine on the back wall of it. And you can construct your Aetherscope and move on from there however you choose to do so. Whether you continue on with the Easter egg or whatever the case may be. That is how you get the 3 parts. There are only 3 spawns. They do spawn one at a time, and they can change. So like I said, those were the 90% runs, and then you have the off chance that every now and then they will go out of order. But I wanted to show you the most common orders that I've come across in all of my gameplay sessions. So once again, I hope this video helped you out. If it did, drop a like and let me know that it did. If you have any other further questions, drop those in the comments and let me know. But thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you soon in the next video. Thanks. Bye.